Well, you've seen how to send these invitations. What happens on the other end? Well, you can see that I have an invitation, and I'm running under a different user ID now, so that's why I'm receiving this invitation. Here's an invitation up here. It says I have one. The logo would be here if I had a logo. I also have requests over here. I can click on either one, and I will see the full text of the invitation, and I can choose to accept it if I want. And what you'll see is that the text of the invitation is exactly the text that I created when I created the invitation itself as the other user. So I'm loading the invitation, and I now have to confirm the request if I want to accept it. I see who sent the invitation, the application that was used to send it, and I can either add the application or I can ignore it. In this case, I want to add the application, so I am finishing processing that invitation, and now I have access to that application. And here I am in the application, and I could now invite my friends to it. You've seen how to send invitations in a variety of ways, and you've seen what happens when you receive an invitation. There's one last thing that you need to see while we're on the subject of invitations, and that is how to avoid inviting friends who already are using the app. There's an option, an attribute called Exclude IDs, which will allow you to exclude from any of these selectors people who already are using the application. You may remember the last time you saw this, I had two friends here. I now only have one friend because the other friend already uses the application. I've been using this to test, so I know that. I've set it up. And the way in which I have implemented this is to use a call from the Facebook API. And that's what's happening up here. I'm calling the API client, the REST lib, and the method friends get app users, and that will tell me who among my friends is using the application that is calling this method. In other words, who of my friends are using this particular application. If I get anything back, I will implode it into a comma delimited list. And I use the PHP implode method, split it up into an array, and then I am setting exclude IDs to the attribute that I will need in the call to multi-friend selector. So it will say exclude IDs equals, and then the imploded array. Or if I got nothing back, if this was null, then I simply won't have anything. I won't even have the attribute name. That's the setup. And then down here, when I am calling multi-friend selector, I add this line of PHP code here to echo exclude IDs, which is either totally blank or the attribute name and the list of the user IDs of friends of mine who are already using the app, so that I don't invite them twice or 4 times or 20 times. So this is a section of code, the API call up here that will get those names, and then down here adding the exclude IDs attribute to the multi-friend selector.